So I decided to crochet a rope. Let me show you how I did it. Hey y'all, so I decided that I wanted to make a purse and I needed some handles, and I didn't want to go out and purchase any handles. So I went online looking for inspiration and I came up with using a rope as the handles. So let me show you how I came up with my version of a rope. You're going to go ahead and make yourself a slip knot, and you'll go ahead and put this slip knot over your crochet hook. And what I used here was I used 2 strands of yarn together. This is just the floor ply yarn that I used here. And it's acrylic yarn, and I'm just going to go ahead and make a chain for however long I want my rope to be. So in this case, I think I did like 26 inches, but it's really going to just be determined by what you need for your purse. So go ahead and make your chain stitch row, and you can see there the chain stitch is very narrow. And what I'm trying to create is that other one, which is a little bit thicker and it looks kind of braided. So what you're going to go ahead and do is make yourself another row of single crochet stitches. So you have your chain stitch row and then another row with single crochet stitches all the way down. So just continue to do that. You want to make sure that you're crocheting kind of tight, but all the way down the row. Okay, and you'll do that this time and you'll do it one more time. So you end up with 3 rows of single crochet stitches. So once you get to the end, your chain 1, turn your work. In that very first spot, you're going to go ahead and make your other row of single crochet stitches. So you'll have a total of 3 rows. So I started doing like this series on granny squares, and so I was like, well, what should I make with my granny squares? And then someone gave me an idea, why don't you just make a purse? So I was like, okay, let me make a purse. So I started off making the purse, which I'll have a video on that really soon. And then I was like, well, what kind of handles do I want for the purse? And like I said, I started looking for inspiration and I came up with a rope. But then of course, you know, I didn't want to go out and buy any rope like I said earlier, and so then I was like, let me just create one. So I'm just showing you here what it looks like once you get your 3 rows. So you have 3 rows of single crochet stitches, and that's pretty much what you're going to use to create the rope. Now this is a version of the I-cord, which a lot of knitters do. So if you're interested in learning how to actually do an I-cord, you can Google that, or maybe at one point I'll put it on my channel. So once you get the 3 rows together, you're going to sew it together. You're going to sew it together down the length of the actual rope. My tip for you is to use a smaller piece of yarn as you're sewing it down. I know it's tempting to just measure out a really long piece of yarn and go down, but because you're sewing such a small narrow piece of fabric together, it can get a little jumbled up, and that just makes it more cumbersome and not even worth doing if you have to work so hard. But anyway, that's pretty much what I did. I just made it's so simple, I feel silly sharing it, but anyway, you just make a row of 3 and then sew it together, and then it created that neat looking little rope. I'm so excited. It's a little thing. So anyway, that's how you do it. If you're interested, there you have it. So be sure to just check out my channel and see how I ended up attaching that little gem to my next project. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye y'all.